When you have your own business, you wear a lot of hats, and sometimes it can feel like you can't take off all of those hats so that you can take a much needed break away from work. But I promise you that you can. I recently took a 5 month sabbatical from my business, and today I'm going to be sharing tips on how you can do the same. Hi, I'm Scarlett Cochran, and this is One Big Happy Life, where we help you create the life that you want. Your journey to a happier and more fulfilled life starts here. This is the third video in a series that I've been doing all about how to take a break from work, also known as a sabbatical. In the first video, I shared lessons that I learned from my recent 5 month sabbatical. In the second video, I shared tips to help you plan your own sabbatical. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing specifically on how I was able to take a sabbatical from work, given that I'm self-employed and run my own company, and I'm also the face of my company. So whether you already have a business or are thinking of starting a business, you'll find some really helpful tips when it comes to making sure that you are designing a business that supports the lifestyle that you actually want, which means it enables you to take breaks, even extended breaks, when you feel like that is what you need in your life, especially given that having time and income freedom is one of the main reasons why so many of us have decided to start our own businesses in the first place. And speaking of designing lives that we love, I want to invite you to a live masterclass that I'll be teaching next week all about creating the life that you want. You can head on over to onebighappylife.com/dream life to save your seat. In that masterclass, I'm going to be talking about how to intentionally create the life that you want so that life comes to you the way that you want it to, versus feeling like you're drifting along in life and just being carried by the stream. There are things that you can do to intentionally design your life on purpose where you're feeling control and that your life unfolds and looks the way that you want it to. So I'm going to be teaching you the keys to creating a life that you can look back on and feel thrilled and excited that you fully lived your life. So head on over to onebighappylife.com/dream life to save your seat. Now, one of the best things about having your own business is that you get to make the decisions. So you don't have to ask anyone else if you can take a break, if you can take a sabbatical. You are in charge, you are the boss, so you get to decide how much time off you have, how much you work. But of course, as the founder and head of a company, that also comes with additional responsibilities, like making sure that the company continues to run and makes money and continues to be successful going forward, all of which can make you feel like you actually can't step away from your business. But I promise you that you can. The truth is that you can build a business in a way that allows you to be able to step away and take time away from work while still having a business to come back to. I took a 5 month sabbatical from work this year, meaning that for 5 months out of the year, I worked very little. I didn't completely stop working, and we'll talk about that in just a bit, but my business is still on track to make multiple six figures this year, even though I took almost half the year off. And again, this is all about structuring my business in a way that allowed me to take time off. So when it comes to structuring your sabbatical and taking time off, you have three options. Option number one is for the entire business to completely go on hiatus. Option number two is to dramatically cut back on your business hours. And option number three would be for your business operations to continue as normal while you take a sabbatical. And I'm going to run through each one of these in detail. Option number one is to go on hiatus completely, meaning that the entire company shuts down, no one's working, and the doors are closed during the sabbatical. Now, I have an online business, so with the exception of my physical book that is shipped by Amazon through my publisher, Penguin Random House, everything that I do is digital. So the content that I create is on YouTube and social media. The courses and other products, masterclasses, coaching that I do, they're all digital based products. So I don't have inventory or anything like that. So I don't have a storefront that shuts down. But what would shut down is customer service, coaching, any sort of delivery things that I do as part of my business, which I do coaching in my programs typically once a week. Having said that, though, this hiatus option is also available to brick and mortar businesses. In fact, one of my favorite breakfast restaurants that I used to go to when I was in law school in New Haven would go on a 2-week vacation where they would completely shut the restaurant down and you could not eat there for 2 weeks while they took their vacation. And they did this twice a year. So it's entirely possible to plan your business so that several weeks out of the year, you are closed for business. And in fact, at One Big Happy Life, we've been doing this for years. So the 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's, we completely shut down as a company and everyone has that time off. And that is a part of our business calendar every single year. So when we're planning our big projects, our big promotions, those 2 weeks are always blocked off. So we know that they are not available for work. But also we set up our customer service out of the office messages. So if we get any incoming customer inquiries, they get an automatic reply letting them know that we will be out of the office for the next 2 weeks and that we'll respond when we're back in the office. And we also do this during Thanksgiving week. Now, the pros of doing this is that, especially if you're a solopreneur, if you aren't working, that means no work is getting done, right? There's no other team member who can fill in for you. So you may not have any option but to do the complete hiatus version of taking a sabbatical. And so the pro is that you have a full sabbatical. You are completely off from work. You are free to completely detach from work and your business and thinking about work and your business to take your sabbatical and focus on whatever you've decided that you want to focus on during your sabbatical, whether it's rest and recharging or some other kind of passion project or travel and adventure, whatever it may be. Now, the cons of taking a full hiatus is that, well, so number one, things can pile up while you're gone, but also number two, business may slow down while you are on hiatus, especially if you have a business like mine that's more of a media publishing business that relies a lot on social media and algorithms. If you're not producing content, then that slows your business down. And it can take some time to get that momentum going again when you come back. So that's one end of the spectrum, completely shutting things down while you're on sabbatical. The other end of the spectrum is for business to go on as usual as far as everyone else in the public is concerned. So that might mean a combination of having a team that can keep things running for you while you are on sabbatical. It also may mean doing work in advance to prep for your time away. So that might mean front loading your work before you leave. So if you publish content on social media or podcasting or YouTube, that might mean recording episodes before you go away on your sabbatical and then having your team publish everything when it's due, or you setting everything to publish yourself before you go on sabbatical if you don't have a team that's supporting you. Now, the pros of this is that nothing about your business really changes from the outside. You just get to go off and enjoy your sabbatical. But the cons are that you need a team to execute this, or you're going to have to do a whole bunch of pre-work before you go on sabbatical, which you may or may not find appealing. I know for me, I did not want to have to do double the work in order to be able to take months off. So I opted for option number 3, which is dramatically reducing my workload. So not shutting the business down entirely, but really dramatically cutting my hours down. So I did cut off creating all new public facing content, but I did keep my coaching calls. So I had between 2 and 3 hours of coaching calls on any given week. And the only pre-work that I did, so front loading of work that I did before I left, was that we were planning to open up the doors to Wealth Builder Society during the summer while I was on sabbatical. So we planned all of that before I left so that that was able to be set and ready to be published and published by my team while I was on sabbatical. So it didn't require any additional work from me. But what I did not do was pre-shoot all the YouTube videos for 5 months while I would be gone and pre-plan all of the social media content. I was not trying to do that. I didn't want that extra work. I just wanted to be able to go on sabbatical and then come back rested and relaxed and rejuvenated. And so in order to do that, for me, I did not want to spend the weeks leading up to the sabbatical focused on pre-creating content. So those are your options, right? You've got either end of the spectrum and in the middle and anywhere in between. Do you want to completely shut the company down, which you absolutely could, and you can plan for financially and as a part of your business year to do that? Do you want to have a team and have people that can keep the company running while you are gone? Also an option. Or somewhere in the middle where you are working just a minimal amount, just enough to keep certain aspects of your business running, but still able to really get that full sabbatical experience. Because, like I mentioned in one of the previous videos in this series, you don't actually have to cut your work to zero in order to reap the benefits of a sabbatical and taking a break from work. Now, how do you actually make any one of these three options work? And the answer is that you have to make sure that you are structuring your business and making business decisions that will allow you to be able to take a break from work. Meaning that when you are designing your business, because you are in charge as the business owner, you decide basically every single thing about your business, you have to keep in mind and design a business that will allow you to step away. So you don't want to create offers that make it so that you must be present all of the time, many hours every week in order to deliver them. You also want to pay attention to how you're pricing your offers so that you're pricing in a way that allows you to take time off. Because if your prices are so low that you can't afford to hire help, or that you can't afford to take a much needed break from work or an extended break from work, then what you've done is created for yourself a low paying job that you can't ever get away from. And that is not why you became a business owner. So when I am considering adding new programs or offers, or when I'm considering selling anything that has any kind of extended commitment from me, like hours of coaching, I do consider how that's going to impact my calendar. Like I mentioned before, that 2-week holiday break at the end of the year, we always make sure we plan around that. So you have to make sure that you're holding those boundaries so that you are not overburdening yourself, so that you're not able to take time away from your business. So you must approach your business planning with the intention of you taking much needed time away, whether it's a week-long vacation, a month-long vacation every single year, or taking a 4, 5, 6-month sabbatical from your business so that you can do whatever it is you want to do during that time. So in addition to paying attention to structuring your offers and your pricing so that you can take sabbaticals and breaks from work, you also want to make sure that your business systems are set up in a way that allows you to take time away. So even though I was away, my business still made money because it has automations and systems set up that will allow people to buy our coaching and products and services and be onboarded and get everything that they need without us necessarily having to be involved. I do have a team that's part of the business that helps get things done, which makes it a lot easier for me to take time away. And I realized that while I don't necessarily want to have a huge business with a whole bunch of people underneath me, that having a lean team that can keep things moving while I take time off was essential. So you don't have to have a huge team. You don't have to have really complicated systems, but you do want to think about, okay, well, what's kind of this baseline level that I need to have so that I can have the freedom and flexibility that I want to have when it comes to my time and taking time away from the business. So when it comes to taking a sabbatical as a business owner, it really comes down to making the decision that that is something that you want to do, and then planning and structuring your business in a way that will allow you to take those breaks. But I also wanted to touch on a couple of mindset things that may stop you or hold you back from taking a sabbatical and taking a break from your business. Number one, it is okay to make less money some years in business, and especially making less money on purpose in service of the life that you actually want. Because when you take a sabbatical from business, especially if you take one where you're cutting back on work or closing the business down entirely for a portion of the year, you're going to make less money than you would have if you were working that entire year. And sometimes it can be so easy to get caught up in this idea that if our business isn't constantly growing, that we're doing something wrong. And all that does is put us on this perpetual hamster wheel that we feel like we can't get off. But by the way, you have a business because you wanted to get off of that hamster wheel. You wanted more flexibility in your life and in your work. And so I'm going to say to you that it is important that you give yourself that, because as the owner of your company, you're the only one who can. So be okay with making less money in your business on purpose in certain years. That doesn't mean that you're not making enough to fund the life that you want, because like I said, I took a 5-month sabbatical this year, but still was able to live a full and rich life. I learned how to play tennis, took private tennis lessons, took multiple trips, including a tennis vacation, which I had never done before, and going to see family. And there's just so much that I did during that time, all funded by my business, and you can do the same. Secondly, worrying that taking a break from your business will break your business. And here, you just have to trust that you know what you're doing when it comes to business, that your business will be waiting for you when you come back. And yes, it may take some time for your business to build momentum again, and that's okay, but you are fully capable of building your business back to your previous revenue levels and even beyond once you've come back from your sabbatical fully rested and relaxed. Remember that taking the time to rest and recharge from your business is absolutely worth it. Now, if you've been thinking about starting and growing an online business like mine, there are 2 ways that I can help you. If you're brand new to business and haven't started your business yet, or aren't sure even what kind of business you want to start, then you're going to want to join the waitlist for Business Simplified by heading over to onebighappylife.com/business. Now, if you already have a business and you're already making money and you're looking to grow that business to 6 and multiple 6 figures, then I want to invite you to sign up for the waitlist for my upcoming business mastermind by heading over to onebighappylife.com/mastermind. All right, I'll see you next time.